What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Same Difference podcast.
Is this thing on?
Hello, friend.
Oh my goodness. Hey, stranger.
What's going on?
I am officially ready for things to slow down. Officially. How are you doing?
Pasha, honestly, sweetie, like, shut up. Like, me and the listeners are sick of it. You've been saying this the entire 2023.
I have.
It is October, my love.
I know.
Like, let's move on.
I'm trying to move on to a much quieter, smoother, less I don't even want to say bumpy, but less busy year. Like, I'm just, anyway.
Anyway,
Life is good. I cannot complain.
Tell us how good life has been for you recently.
Gosh, okay, so I feel like the last time we talked was after my birthday. Did we chat about me and my mom going to Beyonce?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a new month. It's October. One of my favorite months of the year because Halloween, I got the costumes ready.
Do you want to give us a hint on what you might be?
Yeah, sure. I may or may not be wearing these glasses.
Okay.
I have two costumes. I have one that's like funny, and then I have one that's like, glamour girl.
Okay. The funny one. Let's lean into the funny one for a sec, because I want to try to guess.
Yes, let's guess.
Is it a character?
It is.
Is it a old school cartoon?
No.
Okay. What's the time frame of the character?
That is one of the mysteries of the movie because you aren't quite sure. The way they dressed was very dated, but the movie was set in real time.
Okay. When did the movie come out?
2005, 2004. I was in high school. About to go to college.
Can you just tell us?
I'm going to be Napoleon Dynamite.
OMG. That is so fun. Oh my gosh, that was one of me and my little brother's favorite movies to watch together when he was growing up.
Mine too.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna wear our curls, and yeah, I got my little vote for Pedro shirt, and
okay.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have plans to go somewhere for Halloween?
No.
Because if y'all don't know, Pasha gonna dress up and it won't go nowhere. She's gonna dress up. She's gonna take the pictures. They will be posted. It will be a moment. Yep. She ain't gotta go to no Halloween party.
And I don't have anything on my calendar yet. So
okay. Now, if you do go to a Halloween party, I'm thinking that you'll likely wear the glam look, though.
I am on the fence.
Okay.
Because if there's money up for grabs, I feel like Napoleon Dynamite might win it.
Okay.
It might win it. But I do want to do like full glam just because it's, Halloween and I want to be sexy. And of course,
Would you mind sharing?
I was going to do like a Miss America situation.
Okay.
But I think I was going to do like my Halloween, the makeup would be like tear stream cheeks, like I've been crying and stuff.
It's giving Beyonce on the phone in that video.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have a crown, I have a gown, I have a sash. I think I might be Little Miss I'm Never Home.
That would be fitting. Yeah.
Yeah, so work-wise, October was a really good month for me. I had a lot of new business opportunities and renewals that like finalized and came through for me. So yeah, it's everything is I'm finishing the fourth quarter very strong. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Good for you, friend. That's great to hear.
It was a road. It was a road to get here.
Okay.
It was. There was some crazy stuff that happened with my job back in April, and we're 6 months out from that as of today. Actually, 6 months to the day. And there's been a lot of growth, a lot of change. Kind of stepping into myself as a real legit insurance professional, like a grown up. Like I'm a grown up for real. Like people at my job come to me and like want my advice and come to me for guidance and stuff like that. And I always am like, oh my God, did they like ask me for my professional opinion?
That girl, period.
Yeah. So it's, It is it's work wise. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good work
Okay.
wise. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good for you, friend. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. I
Hmm.
put some pastries in the oven, so please let me go take them out because I'm not going to burn nothing live on the podcast.
Okay. I'm gonna stop it and then we'll just come back. I can
Okay, I
cut
don't
it.
want no one talking about how I can't cook.
Go ahead, girl. Okay, y'all. Passion and got her pastries out the oven. What you over there cooking up?
Oh, they're literally just like some those little cream cheese puff
Okay.
pastries.
Okay. That
Nothing.
sounds yummy.
Yeah, just something cute to have with a little cup of coffee.
Okay.
Hold
So
me
you have
over.
one. You have one now that you're gonna get some.
No,
No.
I'll eat
Okay.
it, and they were almost burnt. So
Oh, oh. Now you said you ain't want nobody to say you couldn't cook, but it's
I
given.
well we pulled them out the oven just in time, like just in time.
Okay.
And I just wanted a little cute little snack to hold me over before brunch.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, you guys, as far as updates for me, I don't have one. Surprise,
You do have
surprise.
one, don't you? Have a YouTube series coming up?
Oh, Pasha, we didn't even discuss that. Yeah, I do have a YouTube series coming up. I
You've been
actually
busy.
post, huh?
You've been busy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was in Atlanta last weekend too. Okay, let's start with the series. So, you guys know that Pasha and I have been keeping you all pretty dialed into our dating escapades.
Womp womp womp.
And
For me.
you all know that I met somebody earlier in the year. It got flued out, and it's been a whirlwind 6 months, and we'll just call it a whirlwind. But that whirlwind has ended, and so I am ready to talk about it. And so I created a series that's going to be on YouTube. It's called That Man, because that is what I lovingly, I would say, refer to him as.
Lovingly.
Well, that's just what I called him.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Term of
because,
endearment.
okay, we could say endearment. That works
Yeah.
as well. That's just what I called him in places where I would publicly, like where you could see that I was with somebody, but you know who I was with. I never said his name. I never showed his face. I don't even think I showed his face on Close Friends.
Mm-mm. Because I'm on
Nope.
close friends.
Of course you are. And Pasha get the close friends tea on the phone
Do
calls and
do.
the FaceTimes that even close friends on Instagram don't get. And Pasha was with me when I met the man, so she know what he looked like.
Yeah.
Um, I I used to be really good at documenting pieces like I guess meaningful or just pieces of my life that I wanted to document because it was like a staple. This happened to me. This is
Mm-hmm.
going on with me, so on and so forth. And so I'm going to do that with this as well. If you don't follow my YouTube, It Was Always Joy is the name. Of course, the store will also be on TikTok. I'm not putting it on Instagram because I just can't. Like Instagram just is a buzzkill and I don't even like it. I literally post on the app just because I take stuff from TikTok and just post it there just to have something to post.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but actually what happened was I posted the first part of the series and my TikTok people, I have a little TikTok group. They was like, "This not your best work."
Whoa.
They was like I had to like my one girl that I know, she actually used to do my sew-ins when I moved to Cleveland, but she was like, I had to skim through some of this. It's not captivating. And so I think that it probably wasn't captivating. Every social media platform has its thing.
Uh-huh.
And I think what I had done was I had created the first part of the series for YouTube, but I had posted it on TikTok and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't TikTok-esque. It wasn't the TikTok staple. So I redid it
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to repost that staple today. The first part that's on YouTube, I just privated the video just to determine if I wanted to redo that part as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to figure that out. But initially, I had said that it would be 6 parts. I think I may cut it down to 4, just so it's not so. I actually, you know what? I think I'm going to make the YouTube part 6 parts. And I'm going to make the TikTok part a little bit shorter. So if you watch on TikTok versus if you watch on YouTube, you will get different format, but YouTube will be a little longer. So YouTube gonna have more in depth detail, like
Mm-hmm.
down to the detail. Like me and Pasha went to the Illuminarium, and the drinks were this, and Then me and Pasha went to, and it's not gonna be that boring, but you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
We went to here, and this happened, and this was said, and then this took place. Whereas TikTok, they want you to get to it.
Uh-huh.
Meat and potatoes only. Won't need no sides. Type of situation. So, yeah.
That's funny. Well, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, even though I had a front row seat to this, I'm looking forward to the series. And
Mm-hmm.
I love the way you came up with deciding to put this series together. That was especially riveting. So,
Mm-hmm.
you're so funny. I miss you, pal. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I was in Atlanta, and I was like, I wish my girl was with
I
me.
know. Tear the
And
city
I didn't
up.
even do anything. I went to Atlanta on a Thursday, came back on a Sunday. I stayed with one of my homegirls. The first night I did end up, that the series again, y'all, is called That Man. So I did end up going to spend some time with that man the first night that I was there. But then the rest of the time I was with, oh yeah, I didn't even tell you that, Pasha. We'll
Did
get into
not.
that. We'll get into that at another time, later
Did you
date.
have a good time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. No, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the time I was at my homegirl's house, and man, the tea and the talks and the laughs and just the memories, the gisting. Oh,
I
we had a
love
time.
it.
We had a time, and I didn't go anywhere. Like I had bought a suitcase full of stuff. Like I had, I had the outfits together. Okay, the finished look was gonna be on.
Yes,
The
you was.
pieces were
Okay,
gonna be.
ponytail was tailing. You was looking cute,
Mm-hmm.
girl.
The pieces was gonna be hidden, and then I literally didn't go nowhere. Like she even went out Saturday night, and I was like, let's stay here
Why, Joy? Why?
because y'all know how I am, man. And
We
I'm
need to
just,
get I am, okay? You
I
need
feel
to
like how
unget
you,
that way.
I feel like how you keep saying, "Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm gonna slow down." Is me saying, "I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna go for it. I'm
Just
gonna
just
be outside."
lying. Just
Yeah.
lying.
So we both liars then. Welcome to the club. This is the liars podcast.
But
Is
you
what it
need to
is at
be
this point.
outside because that body is bodying, the outfits is out. I don't understand why you don't go show yourself off.
And let me tell you, a girl picked up a new little. I wouldn't call it a diet, but I kind of changed my eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is no suck and no gut.
Come on
Okay,
now.
very much giving.
I don't
Yeah,
understand why you're not outside with a crop top on.
terrorizing somebody's son.
Exactly. Fuck a nigga head up. For funsies. See,
You know
this is why I'm old and don't have no man, because I be saying dumb shit like this. Go outside and fuck these niggas heads up. Like, no,
Well,
honey.
to be quite honest with y'all, I just shared this with Pasha before we started recording. I am gonna be moving again. I
I'm
know
not.
y'all like these bitches be all over the damn place. What the hell they got going on?
She said, I'm gonna be moving again.
I am gonna be moving again, and Pasha asked me, "Oh, you don't like it there?" And it's not that. If I had a checklist of things of what I wanted life to look like and be like if I moved somewhere, Tampa or anywhere else, Tampa literally checks off every single box except for one. And the one box is honestly these niggas.
Mm-hmm. Ain't none.
Tampa is, I'll say it like this as I talk about this in the That Man series as well. Um, Not me about to be vulnerable. Oh God, what is this?
I mean,
Um,
we shall.
so I was not originally gonna move to Tampa, y'all. Originally I was gonna move to Orlando. I think Passion knows this. Originally I was gonna move to Orlando, but what made me not move to Orlando was the fact that that man lives in Orlando. And I did not want the perception to be I was moving to Orlando because of
Mm-hmm.
that man, because we've only been dating. He was not my boyfriend. And I have been there and done that. I've played that deck of cards in my life before, moving to another city for a man, which I'm down to do. Like, nobody could ever shame me for moving for a man. But it was in the back of my mind that the perception would be I was moving for
Mm.
that man when we not even where we should be if I was going to be moving for him.
I love when people move for love. When I find out that's how people end up in certain places, I'm like, "Oh, you moved for love?" And they'll be like, "Yep,
Mhm.
I moved for love." I
Yep.
mean, that's a dream.
Personally, I feel like why not? I'm single with no kids. So I don't need, I don't have to stay somewhere for their comfortability. I don't have to,
Right.
put my anchor in the sand and stay there because I have kids. I literally can go wherever, whenever, for whatever reason. I work for myself, so I can go wherever I want to go. If I want to move once a year, I'm
You
able to do
can.
that.
You can. You
I have that
absolutely can.
luxury, and it is becoming less of a luxury because I am wanting to put my anchor down in the sand and lock in and do the things that I've talked about wanting to do on the podcast. Um,
That's how
but
I
I
feel about
have
Chicago.
been shooting myself in the foot, so to speak, because I didn't go with my first mind and move where I really wanted to move. And now that I am in Tampa, I have a hard time finding us. And I don't mind being in places and spaces with different types of people, but I do want to see myself represented a little bit more. I don't want to be having to sift through the crowd and find somebody that look like me so we can lock eyes and be like, mm-hmm. I don't want to have to do that. And particularly when it comes to wanting to have kids, I don't want my kids to be in an environment where they don't see people like themselves either.
Mhm.
And so eventually I will be moving to Orlando. I'm likely going to finish out my lease here.
Mhm.
But I don't even really want to do too much in this place because I know I'm not going to be here for an extended length of time. Versus when I moved to Atlanta, a girl knew she was going to be there. I thought I would be in Atlanta forever. I thought
Mhm.
that's where I would end up just living for the rest of my life. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. I would say it's been bothering me a little bit only because I went to a party in Orlando and I'm connected with two girls. I wouldn't call them friends. I would say acquaintances at this point. And the both of them have invited me to go out with them, but again, they live in Orlando.
Mm.
So for me to get in a car, like, it's one thing for somebody to be able to call you and say, "Hey, girl, what you doing? Want to go to lunch? Want to meet at 12:30 for, or 1:30, whatever time. Want to meet at 12:30 for lunch?" And being like, "Yeah, I could, I could squeeze it in today. I ain't doing nothing else." And being able to finish up what I'm doing around the house, take a shower, get dressed, get myself together, and be there to meet them at said time. Versus somebody calling me and saying, "Hey, want to meet at 12:30," and it's already 10 o'clock. So now I literally have to stop everything I'm doing because I got to shower, get dressed, get myself together, and then I got to get on the road.
Yeah.
And the way traffic is in Orlando, I need to not be lollygagging getting on the road. So, like, I had one girl invite me to go out one night, and I had another girl invite me to go to a brunch on a Sunday. I didn't end up going to either. Excuse me. I didn't end up going to either because when the girl asked me to go out that night, it was a little bit too late for me to be able to get myself together. And I don't personally like the thought of going out drinking and then driving the distance that I would have to drive
Mhm.
back home. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to really bum it on somebody's couch who's just an acquaintance. If it was
Understood.
Tasha, if it was my friend that I stayed with in Atlanta, that would be a totally different scenario. But
I'm like, come on, get on in this bed, girl. Come on.
mhm. And then the girl who asked me to go to brunch, I wasn't really feeling the brunch that particular day. And I was in between getting my hair done, and it just and then the knowing that I gotta drive is becoming a deterrent. Like, I don't feel like driving up the road because I don't it's not just getting there. I gotta come back. And after I've been drinking, or not even what if I don't even drink for real, that I wouldn't be able to drive. What
Right.
if I just go somewhere and have one drink, I'm gonna drive back home. But what if I'm just tired? I don't want to have to be forced to get on the road and then end up in traffic, and then
Mhm.
so I have been shooting myself in the foot a little bit that I didn't go with my first mind and do what I knew I wanted to do instead of worrying about what the perception would be, which is surprising to me that I even did that because I talk often about I don't care what people say. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I literally let that fear creep in and skew my decision making. So won't happen
Oh.
again. Won't happen
Yeah.
again.
I mean,
I do love my apartment and I love the area I'm in, and I love being by the water, which was why I chose Tampa when I said I wouldn't move to Orlando, because I'm like, the thought of being by water is I like that, and I could get to water in 15 minutes from where I'm at. But
I like
I need to
that.
see some men. I need to see some men. I can't meet my husband when everybody look down here look like Billy Bo Bob. That's not gonna work for me.
Billy Bo Bob.
Y'all know what kind of men I'm into, the black ones. So,
um, that was one of the things that made me excited about moving to Chicago, is that I knew there were going to be a lot more
mm,
black, not only black people, but black men, that
mhm,
like black women.
mhm,
Because
mhm, because that's a part of it too.
yeah, because living in Minneapolis was not like, the couple of guys I dated, they were black. But there was a large population of black men that wouldn't even see me. I'd
Mm,
be in the bar knowing, I'm like, I know I'm the best looking motherfucker up in here. The outfit is
mhm,
outfitting, hair is giving, like I'm the best looking. And ain't none of y'all looking at me because y'all looking at, Simple Sally, shaped like a fucking white refrigerator and shit, just a big block of bitch. And you not talk like, I don't get that, So, but I knew it wasn't me, And it was
mhm.
funny because when I told people I was moving to Chicago, and then even meeting women that live in Chicago, they're like, oh yeah, they about to be all over you. The men, they gonna be all over you. Da da da
And
da
they
da.
have been.
Eh, eh.
Don't you do that, friend?
Do what?
Y'all see, she got quiet.
I, it's just I've met people, but I haven't met
Mhm.
like my man yet.
Got you.
It's just I don't know, because what I was dealing with a lot of this year was some spin the block that I had to like shut down. Like there is no spin the block.
Mhm.
Um, what always happens to me is when I'm done and I'm ready to move on, they're not.
Mhm.
And so, they want to rope me back in and get me back to that space where I was like all in and really wanted to be with this person. And I'm just not like it. As a Virgo woman, we gonna stick beside you. So when I finally get to a point where I'm done with you, I'm done.
Mhm.
And
Same.
so, I had to tell one guy, like, you got a whole girlfriend, my guy, like y'all live together and stuff. Like we can't, like, I don't, you saying you miss me and you wanting to keep in contact with me and, hoping for a window of opportunity doesn't make me feel good.
Mm.
It doesn't make me feel good at all. It doesn't make me feel special.
Mhm.
It makes me feel like you think I'm stupid. So,
Mm.
and then I had one guy, and then I also told myself, stop dating out of boredom. Stop dating just to say you going out on a date with somebody and actually be intentional. And so what has arisen out of me trying to be intentional is me identifying my toxicity.
Mm. What's your toxic trait, friend?
um I want everything to be perfect.
Mm.
I want everything to be 100% the way I want it to be. And if it ain't that, then it's just not going to be. I'm
Mm.
incredibly nitpicky. I'm really good at being like, this person does A, B, C, D, and E, and I don't like it. And then turning around and saying, you want the other person to do A, B, C, D, and E, and they ain't doing it.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
but what
You
also,
want the person, the things that you want the right person to do it. That's the
yes,
thing. Yeah.
yes, that's what it is. And I'm trying to live in the space that everything that you want isn't what you need.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a part of me that's like, okay, if I accept and go with what I need, I'm settling and not getting what I truly want. And I want the deepest and I believe I should be able to fulfill the deepest desires of my heart. And
Absolutely.
if I'm making a lifetime commitment and I am deciding to like lay down and have children and give like my body and my life to somebody, like, can it be the nigga that I want?
Mm.
I don't want it to just be someone that I'm just, oh well, he'll do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a this'll do type of
Mm-hmm.
love. I
Mm-hmm.
want that shit,
Mm-hmm.
like I want fireworks. Like I locked eyes
Mm-hmm.
with that motherfucker. Like we was locked in the day we looked at each other and the feelings are 100% mutual. That's what I want. I want everything to be 100% mutual. I want to go into it knowing you are just as sure about me as I am about you. And
Right.
the dating with intention, and maybe I need to zoom out instead of thinking like this, but a month and a half in, can I see this for the rest of my life? No. No, I
Mm.
cannot. And so a month and a half in, you're kind of kicking some nigga to the wayside because you don't see it long term. Well, is 45 days really long enough to see if you want to be with someone long term?
No, and I don't think just because you haven't seen all the bad side or the good sides, but because you know everybody put their best foot forward when you first start dating
Uh-huh.
somebody.
Yes, yes.
Everybody puts their best foot forward, and you do need. I believe in that saying about you need to see somebody through all seasons, and not just winter, spring, summer, and fall. You need to see them when they are down and depressed. You need to see them when they up, when they really doing well. You need to see them when family issues happens and friend fallouts happen, and you need to see them how when they're going through those things. What does the relationship look like at that point? Can they
Mm-hmm.
handle it?
Mm-hmm. Are you fun on vacation?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, so I don't. So I've been thinking about what is the marriage going to look like with this person? What is parenthood going to look like with this person? Um, and when I think of a past situation and their personality traits, I knew very quickly, like, oh no, I do not want to be married to someone like you. I do not want
Mm-hmm.
to raise kids with someone like you. You are going to feel a little, you're going to feel a way about my career and how much time it can take,
Mm.
or not even how much time my career can take up, but like I'm going to be a mom who has business trips.
Mm.
So I'm
Mm.
gonna need you to hold down the fort and take care of the kids. I don't want you sitting up there pissy because I'm
Mm-hmm.
on a work trip and you got to take care of the kids. Because if you have a work trip, honey, I want you to go on the work trip. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to we still have to be individuals outside of this union. We
Absolutely.
were both individual people before we became a duo, before we became a trio, and then had, you know what I mean? So like I want we have to keep some semblance of individuality to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed in some situations that this person wanted to be my everything.
Mm.
He wanted to be my everything. And when he
Mm.
figured out that he wasn't my everything, it was an issue for him.
Mm.
And so then dating wasn't fun anymore. And I got the ick.
Mm.
I get the ick really fast. I get the ick real fast. And that's not to say that nobody's getting the ick about me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not perfect. But yeah, I'm are you up my husband? No.
Right.
This was fun. I think you'll be a great friend to have and I wish you the best of luck, but I don't see it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see it. I'm not going to see it. We're not going to like hope. It's a
Mm-hmm.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then too, like, I've never been able to date like this before. I was in a long
What you
term,
mean?
like, where you had like more than one person that's kind of on the scene, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say roster because roster sounds like there's like five niggas on my line. It's not that. But when I moved to Cleveland, I was coming out of a 5-year relationship. I wasn't nowhere near ready to even date anybody when I lived in Cleveland. I tried, but
Mm.
like I was just like, oh my god, like I was just so hung up on my situation that I just wasn't ready to move on.
Yeah, when I tried to date more than one person at a time, I picked the wrong person. So
Yeah.
that was when I was in Cleveland. Um Another thing I touched on in the That Man series that'll be on YouTube. Um like I said, I'm just going back to when we were talking about, being open to moving for love. I'm a lover girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't always been proud to say that, but it is what it is. I'm a lover girl. I need the things. I want the things. I want the words. I want the gifts. I want the actions. I want the touch. I want it all. Um, so because I'm a lover girl, it makes it difficult for me to date more than one person at a time.
Well,
Because I'm the type that if I start dating you, I know that I don't really like you like that. Like, ooh, you physically, I don't even know why people say, oh, looks don't matter. They do. That's just the first thing you see about somebody is how they look. That
is
determines
that
if you
kitty
are even
cat
attracted
is
to
there
them.
a slight purr there or no?
Right. So if I see you physically and I like you and I try to date you and I can tell just you look like I want you to look, but your personality isn't what I want it to be,
It's a
I
chop.
just move on. But if I find somebody and I like the look and I like the personality and the vibe is there and the energy is right, I don't really see nobody else at that point, you know? So
Well,
let me close this door too because I don't want it to be an echo. Go ahead, friend.
in this instance, I was coming out of that relationship in Cleveland, not ready to date. Moved to Minneapolis, ready to date, and then I learned that the blacks don't like the blacks, so it was hard to date.
Uh-huh.
And then the two guys that I would say I saw consistently, because I met somebody when I first moved there. He was much younger than me. He was too young for me. I couldn't take it seriously. Great guy though. Um, Still my friend to this day. And then the guy that was like my pandemic bae. Like that was cute. That was fun. He also was a little bit younger than me too, and he was the one that was a little bit caught up in age, and so like because he knew like, oh, you want to get married and have kids soon. I'm nowhere near ready for that, but they were both black. They like, well, I think they. What's funny is they historically dated non-browns.
And they from the Minneapolis area?
Well, the first one I met, the one that was way younger than me, he was from Chicago.
And then you in
And
Chicago.
now I'm in Chicago. And then the other one was from Michigan, but he lived in Minneapolis.
Okay.
So that was when I dated a little bit, but again, I wasn't dating. Like I wasn't like going out with this guy, going out with that guy. It wasn't until I moved to Chicago that it was like, oh, okay, you can actually date and make friends and get to know, different guys and kind of see what you like, which is where I have found myself today. That's like the space I'm in right now.
Okay.
But even even in this scenario I'm in, further proving that you don't know how to date. You not I don't know how, but I should not date more than one person at a time. Just
Okay.
date one per. Just lock in with the guy you like and hope for the best. And
Mm. Yeah.
I hate it here, actually, Joy. I hate it here, and I would
Me
like to
too,
leave.
friend. Me too.
I would like to leave the gray area that is dating sometimes, because I don't do gray areas when it comes to my heart. I do like what I like. The heart wants what it wants. I like what the fuck I like.
Mm.
You know, I'm trying to do a better job of being open to things and doing something differently and not doing the norm, and the normal in me is just creeping up like
Mm.
you like what you
Okay.
like. So everyone just pray for me. Otherwise, I'm getting another
Pray for
dog.
us.
Yeah, I'm getting another dog.
You get another dog?
I'm thinking about it and just calling it. We're just gonna work
What's
and
going
have.
on with Luigi?
No, we're just gonna work and have two dogs and a cat.
Okay.
Rich auntie,
Okay.
god mommy,
Period.
rich god mommy type vibes. Like that's the fuck it. Cause yeah.
My sister and her boyfriend recently got a dog. I have to show you the picture because I know you would think it's so. He's
Oh
so
my
cute.
gosh. You
His
know,
name is Domino.
I love that name. That's cool.
His name. When I show you his picture, or at least see if I can pull it up and I can show everybody
I
on the podcast.
love this.
And my sister was like, you should get an animal, a support animal. I said, bitch, what do I need a support animal for?
Not a support animal. You would be cute with a
Like,
little girl dog, though.
friend, you know that is not my
And
thing.
Mrs. Whirl. Name her Mrs. Whirl.
Miss Wow. Come on, Miss
I
Girl.
love it. Get you a little fluffy dog named Miss Whirl.
Nah, I'm cool on it.
Thank me later.
Me having an animal isn't my thing, so I'm gonna pass on that.
You're funny.
You know what? Speaking of animals, I saw a really sad video. Have you been hearing about what's going on in Israel?
Yes, I have.
It's so heartbreaking, and this is something that's going to be talked about for generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
Is how this ethnic cleansing is going on, and the entire rest of the world is watching and allowing it to
In real
happen.
time.
Like, I expected the UN or somebody to step in and say enough is enough. It's almost like, for those of you who don't follow the news, international news, and know what's going on, um an ethnic cleansing or genocide, they are trying to wipe out an entire race of people. And they are trying to wipe out the Palestinians. They have been torturing these people for, at the minimum, the last 75 years, taking land from them that was theirs, and just making them do things that really I feel like Black people were dealing with in this country back in the 20s and 30s and 40s, pre-segregation, when we weren't allowed to do things like use the same bathroom as white
Mhm.
people, drink from the same water fountain as white people, drive on the same side of the street. And so I'm just actually stunned and shocked that at this point that we are in the world in 2023, that this is being allowed to go on. Joe Biden has pledged $100 billion, billion with a B, $100 billion to Israel to help propel their war. They're calling it a war, but that's not what it is. Those people can't fight back. It would
Mm-mm.
almost be like, in my mind, if I had to illustrate it, I would say it's like tying a dog to a fence and mistreating the dog, and you go messing with the dog and the dog bites you, and then you start beating the dog
Mhm.
as though he
Mhm.
never had a reason to bite you to begin with.
Mhm.
That's how I see this situation going on in Israel, and it's just sad, man, watching all these kids there. Again, it's an ethnic cleansing, and so that part of the country, Gaza, I believe I read, was composed of like 75% children, women and children. And
Mhm.
those are the people, of course, because it is a higher number of them, they're the people who are dying the most. But if you don't have any children and you don't have any women, the people cannot continue to keep their legacy alive. So they are just, they've been bombing them every day. They've
Mhm.
bombed the hospitals.
Yep.
They've bombed the churches. They have said that they will allow aid in through the southern border that connects them with Egypt. They've bombed that. So they don't have water, food, medical supplies. I saw a video of surgeons in a hospital operating by iPhone lights. So, yeah. Joe Biden can't ever get my vote again. I don't care who's running for president. I already had set up in my mind, like, do you know who you would vote for if Donald Trump and Joe Biden were running for president again? Like, it ain't even the lesser of two evils. It's evil and eviler.
Yep. I'm not voting.
Mm. Don't let the ancestors hear you say that, sis.
No, I probably my mom would not go for that shit. Okay, no, 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 no. My mom be on that phone. Did y'all vote today? Oh yeah, she don't play. She don't play about that. Yeah, I to be honest, I have not. I've seen a lot of the news on Twitter. I've been reading a lot of articles. I haven't been watching like the 24-hour news cycle. Getting my information, and I feel like what I've been seeing is unfiltered, and it's kind of making my stomach turn a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just with the cruelty and the violence, and I watched a man carry his child's remains. I don't. That's enough for me.
If you are able to, if you want to know what's going on and you want I hate to say unbiased because I feel like everybody has a bit of bias, but if you
Mhm.
really want to see real time the truth about what is going on, and you are able to, see some things that are hard to watch, go to Sean King's Instagram page.
Mm,
You will find out and see what is going on. And when you see what's going on, it's going to be like, wait, this going on right now, and nothing is being, like,
in real
nobody is doing
time.
anything.
In
No
real
country
time.
is defending these people. It is the saddest thing to watch. It really is. So, and like I said, $100 billion. Joe, you don't need my school loan money. You
Absolutely.
was never getting it, but you don't need my school loan money because you got the funds, sir.
I just don't understand. I mean, I get being a first world country and being, the leader of the free world and having the means to step in and be like, we're going to give you this much money to fight back. But there's so much going on in our own country that, I mean, you don't,
Not even taking care of home.
$100 billion. If you have $100 billion to donate elsewhere, you really actually, you don't need my federal income tax money. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
my student loan. Like you don't need anything from me.
Mm-hmm.
At the
It's
very
not even
least,
100 billion going to a humanitarian crisis, like feeding hungry people or building homes for people who don't have one.
water and
You've given
electricity.
$100 billion
Like,
for these people to continue to assassinate an entire population of people. It just don't make sense. You already gave Russia a good chunk of money, and it's nothing. It's quiet out here for Americans.
mm-hmm,
Okay, it's
mm-hmm.
quiet. Um, I don't know what inflation looks like where everybody else is at, But where I've lived, first of all, I saw another article that said that across the country, Atlanta was in the top 3, 5, 10, somewhere up there high, top places that has seen a spike in inflation, like some high percentage number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even now, here with me being in Tampa, it's not even that, oh, it's super high in Tampa. It's just high everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to really check myself the other day. I went to Starbucks and got a venti and then bacon and cheese egg bites. And I hope Starbucks enjoyed my $15 because she won't be getting it again. $15 for a coffee and 2 egg bites? $15?
Damn.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We can't do that again.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
world. I don't know what's going on in the world these days. It seems like everything is going on in the world these days. We out here
Everything
living
but the
in
right thing.
the book of Revelations.
Hmm.
Scary to you, girl. Spooky season.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
spooky season for sure. I mean, that's pretty much the one thing, the biggest thing that's dominating the news these days, aside from Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And the only reason I bring this up is because I'm a huge fan of Kayla Nicole, who was the black woman that he dated before he got with this girl. And I just
But they've
feel
been broke up for so long too. Like, why are they even talking about that? Like, why y'all put her in the group chat?
exactly. I think that was fucked up. Number one. Number two, I don't know that I like. I mean, I get the fanfare, but like Travis Kelce, like I don't know. I just feel like he's moving different. You move.
He's allowed to.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like the rumors were that he was very hung up on money and how much money he was spending
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that, Kayla was contributing equally to the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If he's with Taylor Swift, ain't no equal contribution. He gonna take care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I think, what, and I could be wrong. I don't know them people business. Taylor got her own money. She might even say, I'll go half with you because I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not be surprised
Mm-hmm.
if he was showing up differently.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was penny pinching and going halfsies with Kayla if the whispers in his ear weren't, this girl just trying to take you for a ride. She's just trying to, because let's I mean, the elephant is in the room. Let's say it, okay? White man making a lot of money playing in the NFL, and he got this black girl. Now, why she want you? Trying to get your money. Don't let her have no baby. She really gonna get you for all you worth. Yeah.
But she was with him before he was a Super Bowl champion.
Mm. I tell you another thing I saw, and I know you haven't, and I haven't either, and I'm not even interested in. City Girls dropped a new album.
I didn't see much chatter on the Twitter about it either, which is surprising because normally people. I haven't listened.
I saw, I follow JT on Instagram, so I had been seeing her post about it,
Mm-hmm.
and their debut song from the album or the single that's out from the album is, I guess, with some pop star. Like, I just hate when people try to cross these genres because they think that, like, the music industry is so watered down,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not who y'all are. The city girls.
From
Your
Miami.
whole name embodies, the esque of, the ambiance of what the City Girls is. And you got this poppy doppy TikTok bip bop song. It's
TikTok
like,
hip
that's not
hop.
who y'all are, bro. And I don't want to hear that. Y'all core fan base don't want to hear that. To
Mm-mm.
be quite honest, y'all core fan base, sad to say, but y'all core fan base wants to hear the Glorilla songs. They want to hear the Gloss Up songs. They want to hear the Scarlett songs, the Megan Thee Stallion, the Cardi B, the Nicki Minaj. This thing that y'all doing, and I'm all for people changing things up and doing things different, but to completely switch up when you in the industry because you think that's what's going to top the charts, or it's just so water. It's just, music just ain't music in like it used to music.
Well, I don't.
I'm playing old stuff.
I'm confused on the promo run for this too because Act
Well, the
Bad.
promo run I think just started, and they both seem like they already over it. Young Miami, even before they dropped the album this week or yesterday, whatever day it was, already talking about she gonna take a break. You tired already? We tired too, girl. Throw the album in
Well,
the trash.
I'm confused on like releasing the Act Bad single and like maybe not, there wasn't a real follow up to that. And then they
Hmm.
released another single. I don't even know what the name of the single is. And then it's, oh, our album is out in October. And it's just like, well, the summertime for whatever kind of music y'all are dropping would have been the perfect time, or at least closing out the summer before Doja Cat dropped her album, before Drake dropped his album.
Well,
Like,
I feel like they was rushing to drop an album before Nicki dropped next month.
oh, that is coming in November,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably why Doja and Drake got their shit out the way too. Now that I think
Mm-hmm.
about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I think Cardi is supposed to be coming later this year or at the top of next year. So they, people are making room.
Nobody's music is impressing me.
No, that
Still,
bongos came and went.
that the thing with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, came and went.
I told you that was garbage.
You did. You said you really wasn't feeling that
Mm.
song.
All the music, I'm telling you, literally, that's not like it ain't me being biased about I like this artist. All of it's been trash.
I mean,
Drake was pissy about Joe Budden saying his album wasn't, what it
yeah,
should have been. And stop messing with
girl.
20-year-old. Stop messing with 20-year-olds. And he obviously was in his feelings about it. Like you do realize people are allowed to have an opinion.
They are 100%.
And I saw somebody else say, like, I don't know if you heard Glorilla new song that came out. It's some remake of I
Uh
can't remember,
huh.
like the Cha Cha Slide
Uh
thing.
huh. And
And she
somebody's
got mad because Kate, I don't know if I'm saying his name
Kai
wrong, the
Bennett,
real
Kate
popular,
Bennett.
yeah, that he said that nah, this ain't it, and so she blocks him. I'm like, y'all do realize people are allowed to have an opinion about
Mm-hmm.
music that they do and don't like. And so I saw somebody comment and say, well, he should realize that so many people follow him. Why do that mean he can't have an opinion? And let's keep it a stack. This song trash.
Right, right, right.
Glorilla, why are you trying to cha-cha slide, girl? What you doing, Glow?
What I will say is,
I'm gonna put it on the floor. That's to me, big Glow. That's what people want to hear from you, beloved. That's how you came to us. I need you to stick with it. Okay? It's too early for somebody like Glorilla to be trying to change up her stuff anyway. You just
I'm
getting your foot in the door.
crying.
Your back of your head ain't even crossed the threshold yet. It's too soon.
Because I love music and I am a hip hop head and I love true talents. Um, the hearing valid critiques about the way music sounds these days, um, it breaks my heart a little bit, because the people that I think are making incredible music, like
Mm.
making albums out, you press play and you let it, they don't like them. They don't want to hear
They're not
them.
mainstream enough.
Like, even though Tyler the Creator has won best rap album, I want to say twice, for Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost, people, there are a lot of rap fans that the music don't, it's not curling over for them, and it's just,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
but then I'm like, okay, that they did, and that's incredible work. Call Me If You Get Lost in Igor, like, if you're a musical person, if you like music, that shit rides and you like it. Doja Cat, Scarlet, that is a really, really, really great album. Like, if you just if you just said, if you did not know who Doja Cat was, what she looked like, did not follow the press, and you were just listening to music and you play that album and you let it ride, that shit is so good. But nobody paid.
I'm gonna give it a listen, friend, only because you've said that multiple times. But unfortunately, I am one of those people who, once I know too much of your personal business and
The
your
antics
personal life
ruined
is
it
a
for
bit
me.
too troublesome, I can't even get to your music. I
The
just can't.
antics, so that's the thing. The antics are ruining it for her, because she really, like, when she said, I'm making a rap album and I'm about to rap and I'm about to really show y'all that I'm fucking talented. Nobody, okay, girl, all right, So then you have Drake, who has given us consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to For All the Dogs. I can. This is a classic Drake record. I can play Take Care and listen to this record, and I can listen to For All the Dogs, and I can pick two records that have the same formula. Shit
Mm-hmm.
rides. Great Drake album. I love it. But people are like, he hasn't grown. His music hasn't
Mm-hmm.
done this. Da 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 da. We don't like. I like For All the Dogs.
I
Admittedly,
haven't listened to it.
as a Drake fan, there are only a handful of albums that he's put out that I can listen to from start to finish. like I could just let play. There are some albums, skip, 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 too rapidy rap for me, skip, skip. I don't want to listen to this shit. Before All the Dogs, every song. I like
Okay.
every song.
Okay.
And they're like, well, he needs to start rapping about different this, different that, different this. Beyonce's been singing about that man for 25 years.
But she did it in a different way every
Oh,
time,
no, no,
though.
no. That's the thing. Her music, the sound surrounding the lyrics and the subject matter have changed and grown.
Mm-hmm.
But so, like, if you're going
Mm-hmm.
to talk about Drake's music, don't talk about the man content not growing and changing. If he want to sing about fucking bitches that break his heart forever, that's what the nigga's going to be singing about. Because at every age and at every stage in your life, there's gonna be somebody that broke your heart unless you got married and you done rode off into the sunset. Beyonce done sang about the nigga cheating. She done sang about getting money. She done sang about being a bad bitch. She's sang about it all
Mm-hmm.
consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And but the music,
It just looks so different every single time.
and that is what,
The Coachella performance,
yes, there's
the
a
Beachella
thing
performance, Renaissance, they all look
different.
different.
His sound could
There's a different
evolve.
vibe, same message, but it's a different vibe every time. And I think that's why Beyonce is able
Mhm.
to, or artists like Beyonce are able to have the longevity that they do
And
because
nobody
they get
says
it.
anything about the content of her music. Nobody
They get
says
it.
anything about the content of her music. So my thing
Only
is,
thing we say anything about is that Ivy Park. That's it.
and I would, yep, but she's never been a fashion girly. Like, even House of Darion was tacky to me, and I knew she wasn't wearing that shit either. So, I knew that. So yeah, Drake, I would love to hear him with different producers. You've been using the same producer since forever. It's
Mhm.
time for you to branch
Mhm.
out and use some other
Mhm.
producers, and then I think he will get the respect that he's been shooting for forever. Like,
Mhm.
if he did a full rap album and had Tyler the Creator produce it, or the people that do Griselda's music, then maybe we
Mhm.
would get somewhere with, this is the Drake we like and we love that he's doing da, 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 da. You got to evolve a little bit. So I think what Joe Budden had to say, the broken clock is right twice a day, because I don't fucking like Joe
Mhm.
Budden. But um, you know, you like Drake said, you failed at music.
Mhm.
So while everyone has an opinion, you kind of got to shut up talking about my music.
I don't think so though.
I mean, he's a music
Cuz
critic now,
we don't hear critiquing music and ain't either one of us drop nothing.
but
I'm allowed to like what I like and I'm
we're
allowed
the
to
we're the
speak about it.
consumer. We are the consumer.
I think that
We can say
people like
whatever we
Drake take
want.
things like Joe Budden to heart because of the platform that they have.
Hmm.
And because places, podcasts like the Joe Budden podcast, the Breakfast Club, when people drop
Ooh,
albums,
I
those
want to talk about the
celebrities,
Breakfast Club too.
we getting there. We getting there. You see
Hmm.
how I pulled her in, insert, okay?
Hmm.
But shows like that, these rappers be looking to those people to give some
True.
feedback because they know that they can sway or skew or, make people listen. Because a lot of times, once I hear certain people say certain, yeah, I'm cool on it.
Hmm.
I ain't listened to Drake album yet.
I love it, but that's
Okay.
my
See,
baby daddy too.
because I know that you're a music person,
Yeah,
that's gonna make me listen to it. I'm gonna try to get the Doja Cat, but I ain't finna make no promises. I can't that damn demon. I can't get with
I
it.
just feel like you're gonna. There's you just.
Doja Cat. When I think of Doja Cat, I think of a bald head scallywag demon crawling through a horror movie. That's what I think of when I think of her.
Um, I would like for you to listen to Agora Hills and Can't Wait.
That's on the latest album.
Yep, just listen to those two
Okay.
songs. So, listen
Okay.
to Can't Wait first.
Okay.
Listen to that one first.
Now let's get into it because baby,
DJ Envy's going to jail.
when the federal government was picking folks up in 2020 and 2021 for PPP, SBA, unemployment scams, it was a big thing to be talked about. But in 2023, like Joe Budden said, this Ponzi scheme. I called three people. I called Fabulous, I called DJ Clue, and I called Joe Budden. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme. Well, Joe Budden went wrong.
He wasn't. He's a Virgo man. We be knowing.
Because they done already picked up the other two people that he was partnering with on this.
Yeah.
It's probably the only reason he probably hasn't gotten picked up got a little bit more money, and he got better lawyers. But they
Mm-hmm.
is eventually gonna snatch your ass up off the
Oh, he's
street.
gonna
You're
turn
going
himself
to the big
in.
house.
He's turning himself in. No one's picking him up. He's turning
True,
himself in.
true.
That
He
wife,
gonna make an arrangement.
that wife done scrubbed her Instagram of all them lavish gifts.
No.
Yes, it's just family photos now. Mm-hmm.
It's 2 photos on there?
No, it's just family photos.
Wow. And you know what's crazy is even before this whole real estate thing was going on, he always showered her with lavish gifts.
Mm-hmm. The
Wow.
feds
Oh yeah,
already got that, sis.
he going to the big house. I don't know how true it was, but I saw somebody post the Breakfast Club had a job interview up there for a radio co-host for the Breakfast Club.
Yikes.
They say he's gotten fired. I don't know how true that is. We're gonna see on Monday morning if he be on the show.
I saw that. Because I heard the iHeartRadio offices got raided.
I heard that too. I'm gonna be trying to tune in and see if the who be on the Breakfast Club hosting. Is it just gonna be Charlamagne and Jess, or is he gonna be there with them?
Well, I wonder if Angela Yee left early because she knew that shit was gonna crumble and she needed to secure
I
employment.
don't think she left because of this. I think she genuinely left because she wanted to do her own thing.
Mm.
I would say there seemed, from the things that she said about it since she's left, she was just tired of being the only girl in the room with a lot of misogynistic energy. And
Yep.
not even necessarily from Charlamagne and DJ Envy, but a lot of the guests that they have,
Yep.
excuse me, sometimes I think didn't treat or see her as an equal
Yep.
interviewer. They kind of just leaned into the guys.
Yeah.
But to me, Angela Yee was the best interviewer. She was the one asking the questions. She was the one
questions.
that got to the, the nitty gritty of what people wanted to know, whether it was about the music or their personal life or whatever.
And everything wasn't a joke like it can be with Charlamagne and DJ Envy. Yes, it's not looking too good for old boy.
I was like, oh, this tea hot. This is like, baby, you going to the big house. You going to federal prison.
Yep.
I don't even think that I think because of the amount of money involved, I don't even think this is one of those things where you'll be able to pay a fine, pay restitution, do 2 years of suspended. I feel like you would have to do time behind jail.
Teresa, the Teresa Dujice or whatever, however you say her name, and her husband, they each did a year in prison for whatever little fraud shit they were doing.
And like Joe Budden said, when you got into this real estate deal, why did you call the people that you called? You called the rappers. Why did you call them? Why wouldn't you like try to connect with somebody who kind of was already into some sort of real estate type of business dealings?
Yeah. And you have too many friends in high places who could have connected you with someone that could have offered you some like insight and like expertise that wouldn't get your ass bumped up with the law. But here we are.
Niggas be trying to do Jay-Z type business and don't have that Jay-Z type of mentality.
No business. I mean, but he Jay-Z came up doing, a different type of business. So now when there's an opportunity to be legit, he's gonna do legit business. So yeah, that sucks for D. That I all the best to the Casey family.
Yeah, I got my eye on that story. It's a juicy one.
Eye on that story. Yeah, I mean, I was doing a little reading about it. Was that yesterday morning? I think I was laying down. I was like, let me click on this little ABC7 news article and see what they saying about old boy. Yes,
and I'm still a little bit confused. I don't know completely what Tony the Closer has to do with this, but Tony the Closer was saying as late as the end of last week or beginning of this week, oh, I'm gonna see to it that you get what you need to get. There was some sort of beef going on, and I think they were trying to discredit Tony the Closer and say that he was basically like a scammer or something. And Tony the Closer had some inside information about this whole real estate investment scam deal. And as soon as he said the feds is coming to pick up DJ Envy soon, y'all, he was saying it. Guess who started getting picked up this week? His business partners. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't on the Breakfast Club on Monday, and if there was an article about DJ Envy will be turning himself in by
That's coming.
Because if y'all business partners and they're asserting that the business is a scam or has done scam related deals or whatever, you're not going to be the third business partner that don't get picked up too.
Exactly. And even if they don't pick him up, you are answering some questions. We're going to have a conversation and you're answering some questions, my nigga. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's all
But anyway, so y'all, Passion and I decided that we are oh gosh. Y'all,
so
I'm just at my wits end with this whole dating thing.
I am
But
too a little
Passion
bit.
and I, huh?
I am too.
Yeah. Very much, very much take me out the damn group chat. Um, but Passion and I decided that we were going to do a segment about dating disasters. Friend, I don't know if you have a dating disaster story that you want to, and that these may not necessarily be dates that we particularly went
They're
on,
just
but
dates
just
I know about.
yeah, dates we know about, friends, and so on and so forth. So
And
I
we
don't
would
know
like
if
our
you,
listeners to send us their disaster date story so we can like tell it on the
if you
podcast.
want us to go over your disaster date story or read your disaster date story on the podcast, you can send an email to same difference podcasters at gmail.com. Now, I know the name of the show is The Same Difference Podcast, but when you send the email, take out the. Just put same difference podcasters with an S, podcasters with an S at Gmail, and we'll read your story. I do have a dating disaster story that I would quickly like to share.
Yes.
Um, excuse me. I hold on. Actually, I don't remember it. Is my dating disaster story?
Okay.
Oh, I do remember it now. This was back in. This was the end of last year, beginning of this year. I had it was the beginning of this year because it was somebody that I had connected with on Hinge. Y'all remember Passion? I did a whole 4 or 5 week Hinge run trying to see how the app would work for us. Didn't quite work out for me.
Or me.
Don't like it. I realized, not that I didn't know it, but it just reaffirmed the fact that I am a meet you in the face
Yes,
type of girl.
chemistry, vibes,
Yeah. And
organic.
so I connected with this guy on Hinge. We were supposed to go on the first date. And he told me that he wanted to meet me after the Hawks game. He was going to a basketball game and we were going to meet up. I thought we were going to meet somewhere, get drinks, maybe get some, light bites, tapas, something like that. He wanted to meet at this, I thought it was a lounge, but it ended up being a club. I don't know if he was going out with his homeboys at a club or what the case may be, but we agreed on a time. He knew what time the game was going to be ending. We agreed on a time. I get to the place. It's right up the street from my house in Buckhead, and I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting on him to get there. And he texts me all throughout, or I'm leaving the game, or I'm pulling up. And then when he says he's pulling up, I'm kind of just waiting to see in the parking lot where somebody is pulling in. And I never see anybody pull in. But about 15 minutes go by and he texts me again and basically said that he wasn't feeling it. That the inside, I guess, wasn't giving what he wanted it to give. I don't know. Again, like once I told somebody about this, they told me that this place is a club. It's not a lounge. So I don't really know what he expected, but I don't know why anybody would want to take me on a first date to a club. First of all, this was supposed to be like we're meeting for a date. I wasn't dressed for the club. I was dressed
Mm-hmm.
for like a cute date. And also, why would we be going to a club? How I'm finna get to know you? What I supposed to do? Sit in the section beside you, smoke a hookah, and take shots? Like I'm just confused. So again, somebody my age who should know better, who should know how to date. Excuse me, who didn't? And when he said that it, wasn't given, he said, "Well, I'm just gonna go home. Do you want to come over and smoke hookah? You can go to hell, and I hope the hookah smoke you. Never talk to me again." Another thing he did that I thought was weird was he had asked me, like, oh, what did you do this weekend? How was your weekend? And I'm telling him how my weekend was, and I'm like, and how was your weekend? And he's like, oh, my weekend was cool. He did something with his sister or something, and then he sends me a picture. Like, oh, I did this, I did that, sends me a picture. Because Anchi Private Eye finna download the picture and see when it was taken. And it was from 2021. Sir, why are you sending me this old ass picture as though this was you this past weekend? Leave me alone. Okay.
I love that you can download the picture and see when it was actually taken.
Mm-hmm.
I love
A
that.
liar that don't even know how to lie.
Okay, like what? No, no, no. Okay, so my disaster date, I guess I could start with a disaster date that I've been on before I read this one. I was living in Cleveland at the time. I met this guy on Plenty of Fish. That was my first mistake.
Ooh, that's a throwback.
Yes, this is from some years ago too. And we decided to go to TGI Fridays. And
Come
so
on, chicken and cheese with shrimp, the mashed potatoes.
so we went and you I when I saw him, I was like, "Oh, okay, he didn't think to like, get dressed up or anything. Like he looked like he just kind of like had some bullshit on. Like
Mm,
he didn't get fresh for the date.
mhm,
Um, he wasn't like clean cut, hair wasn't cut,
mhm.
just looked like, okay, so this is who I'm on a date with today. Interesting. So we, eat or whatever. I think I had an entree and a cocktail. He had an entree and a cocktail. And then um date was going well enough. Um, and then he was like, "Have you ever been pregnant before?" And I was just
Say
like,
what now?
it, and I was like, excuse me?" And he was like, "Yeah, like, have you ever been pregnant before?"
Were y'all talking about kids or something?
No,
It just
no.
came out left
We
field.
just, we just making conversation, and then that was just what came to mind.
Okay.
And I was like, "What? That's a very weird question." And he was just like, "Why?" And I was like, I just don't understand, what kind of answer are you looking for? Because, like, did you want me to say, like, yes, and I had like a miscarriage, or like,
Mm,
yes, and I had that, what were you looking for? So that was like turn off number two, because I told y'all he showed up looking goofy. So then we go to have, like, after we finish our meal or whatever, he's like, "Well, do you want to go, grab another drink?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go have another drink with you." We get to the bar. He talking about, "All right, so since I paid for dinner, then, first round of drinks on you." And I was just,
so he invited you to go spend your money.
yes. And I was like, like, okay. So I made sure we got a couple beers, and that was it, because that's all I was paying. We're gonna have a couple beers. And then yeah, we had our little beer, we chit chat some more, and then, after the "have you been pregnant before" question, like, I was already checked out anyway.
Yeah,
So I knew I wasn't
yeah.
gonna go out with him again. And then, we both went our separate ways, and then he wanted to get together again. And I was, and it was very much, "When can I see you?" And I was just like, I'm down to get together again. Just, let me know. Like, I'm free this weekend, next weekend. And he's just like, "Oh, okay, well, um, I don't really have any money right now. So, when I get paid again, then we can go out."
How old were y'all?
30.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
See, if you would have said 24, 25, I might have given him a half a pass.
No, no. And I totally understand when your money is money and you can't take me out, but there's an art to, like, saying, we can, you know, get together, like, when, because I think what he wanted to do was get together, but he was like, "Let's just get a bottle and kick it." And I was like, "No, thank you.
Mm,
I would much rather go out with you again." And
mm,
I don't quite feel comfortable doing that. And that's when he was just like, "Well, I don't really have any money right now." And I was just like, "Okay, well, let me know when you get paid and we'll go out again." And
mm.
then we didn't go out again. So it wasn't like a crazy, super duper scary disaster, but there were some blunders there. And I was just like, "Oh no,
Mhm,
sir. Oh no, sir."
mhm.
So the reason why I even thought about telling disaster date stories is because I had bumped into one of my oldest, dearest friends, and she told me about a date she was on. And it was hilarious. And I'm like,
Mm.
how is this happening in the year of our Lord 2023? How is it happening?
Not the year of our Lord,
How
girl.
is it and this is somebody that is 40, grown,
Mm-mm.
very, very, very grown. So my friend went on a Twitter rant about it. So I'm literally going to read her Twitter rant.
Okay.
She said, "Y'all, I'm ready to talk about my date last Friday. I've had a week to collect my thoughts. Why me, Lord? Why?" So long story short, I went out with this guy last Friday and was actually feeling the nigga until the check came. First off, let me start by saying my toxic trait is that I think everything is a red flag.
Mm.
So, first red flag of the night was the nigga seemed drunk before we even got food. But I'm like, cool. Maybe he's nervous and wanted to relax and loosen up. So we're eating and talking, and the waiter brings the check. Restaurant's closing in 30 minutes. But, we continue to talk. The more I sat and talked, the more that check sat right in its place on the table, untouched.
Mm.
I'm thinking, red flag. What the fuck is the tab still on the table for? 40 minutes later.
Mm.
So it's literally 10:57 p.m. Place closes at 11. I'm thinking, I hope this nigga don't think I'm paying. So I go to the bathroom so he can phone a friend or do whatever he needs to
Perfect.
do to
That's
pay
what
the
I was
tab.
thinking. Mm-hmm.
I come back from the bathroom and there's $40 on the ticket. The waiter comes and picks it up. And the dude looks me dead in my eyes and says, I hope that was enough. How much was the tab? I said, I don't know how much it was. Because why would I even need to look at the bill?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, why did the waiter come back and say it was $8 short?
Mm-mm.
And that nigga looked me dead in my eyes and said, I'm out of cash. She said, at this point, I am checked out because I know you fucking lying. I
Hmm.
was so lost and confused, y'all, because never have I had a man, a 40-year-old one at that, do some weak shit like that. $48, y'all. 48. I was so embarrassed, y'all. I pulled out money from my purse because I felt bad for the waiter.
Mm-hmm.
And that man has never heard from me since. I've dealt with broke before, and I'm not shaming him for that. I'm shaming him for not thinking this one out. If you knew you couldn't afford a $50 meal, you should have thought of something simple.
Well, this first of all explains why he came to the date drunk, because he knew he couldn't afford to buy drinks at wherever they was gonna eat. But then you should have made sure that you stopped at Mickey D's and got you a Big Mac and a fry before you came in that restaurant and wanted to eat something. And furthermore, why you ain't got $50 at 4 years old to take a woman on a date? You ain't got no credit card? Where your debit card at? You ain't got no money in the bank? What's going
Why
on?
did you set down $40 and say I hope that was enough?
And again, like the young lady said, not trying to shame the man because listen, times talk hard, inflation high, economy. I don't know some days if I'm coming or going. But I'm also not inviting people to go out
Thank
in a
you.
situation where it would be assumed that I'm taking care of things if I know I can't take care of things.
That right.
40, 30, 20, that's just something that you don't do. Why would you invite somebody to do something if you know you can't pay for it?
And if you but you're taking someone out on a date. So did you really think that you had another chance with this woman coming up $8 short? And this is why my mom always told me that when I go out with a date, to have my own money because you never know. But this is
Mm-hmm.
this is not the type of never know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to know this.
I feel like when I'm on a date, do you get nervous about stuff like this? If you go on a date, when you look at the menu, do you be like, "Oh, I really want this, but I don't want this nigga to say I'm, trying to pick the most expensive thing." No, sweetie. If I brought myself here to dinner, this is what I would get, and
And
probably 2 to 3 drinks to go along with it.
my mom always told me to be mindful of what you order on a first date. Be mind
Right.
don't
Right.
don't you don't want to be a cheap date, but don't do the most. That is,
Mm-hmm.
a piece of advice that my mom has always given me. So when I do go out with a man, I don't go for the $48 New York strip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well,
but
that's what I'm saying. I be nervous because like that's really what I want, but I'll bring myself back here. I could take myself on a date and not be worrying
paying
about
attention.
can I pay for this, can I pay for that. But let me at least be somewhat mindful or considerate of the fact that I don't want this nigga to think I'm trying to feed an army either.
I did go on a date recently, and the it was a first date, and the tab was 170.
I feel like that's a normal date price though.
But we each had like 3 glasses of wine. We ordered oysters twice. You see that girl eat them 48 oysters, Joy?
Girl,
Now you want to talk about a disaster date.
Yeah.
That was a fucking disaster. This is so good.
All that
Baby.
slurping,
This
slurping
is
and
so
sucking it,
good. Oh
girl.
my God. Baby. And then you just
If you
sit
gonna go on,
and
like, if you were on, even if it wasn't a first date, like,
yuck.
just to be slurping and sucking out with in
With
public
your
like that is like,
phone and the
girl.
flash on, like, ma'am,
Because
please.
how I eat on a date with a man is not the same way I'ma eat when I go out with my
Hell
sister,
no.
with my friends.
Hell no.
I can be licking my fingers, licking the ketchup off my fingers at a restaurant. But if I'm with a man, I ain't doing none of that
Like I
shit.
mean that too was a disaster date. But yeah, I'm like, she went to go run up that nigga's pockets, and like I and
Mm-hmm.
me and this person I went out with, this was all unintentional. Like, we had ordered some oysters, and then he was like, "Those are really good. Let's get another one." And I was like, "Okay." So
Mm-hmm.
we got another one, and then he ordered something. He wanted something else to eat. So like, he did more of the eating than I did. So it
Mm-hmm.
was 170 because of him.
Mm.
It was only
I
50.
personally feel like that's a normal price for a first date dinner. Is that like, I would say $200, maybe not, just depending. But
And it was a long dinner
it
too.
depend
Like,
on
we had
it depend on
pictures.
the person. Because I was out in, what was that, August, on a date, and the man ordering drinks for me, him, and everybody at the bar. But he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you know that you can do that, you do it. If you know
Exactly.
that you can't do it, why are you ordering shit like that?
Exactly. Exactly. No, he was it was a night, it was a long date. Like, we had been kicking it for like 3 hours. So it was like,
Mm.
we had ordered something, and then it was like, "How are you feeling? You want something else? Yeah, let's get something." Like, it was like that. It wasn't like, "Ooh," and I want 4 things of oysters, and I want 3 lemon drop margaritas.
When the story came out about the girl in the oysters, I was wondering, it was it like a they went to like a happy hour and the oysters was on special and that's
Yeah.
why she ordered some more or
Yeah, it was
something. But
$15
even
for a
then,
dozen.
I would do that with you, Pasha. I'm
Exactly.
not doing that with a man.
Exactly. 4 dozen oysters. Like, I'm sorry, sis, you should have been ready to fuck after that, but that's just me, because oysters are an aphrodisiac, and some of us react to those kinds of things.
I
I
don't
mean,
even eat them things.
this girl, her name is Cammy. I'm not gonna put her on blast. I ain't gonna say what her her Twitter is.
I know who you're talking about.
She said, "I know that kitty cat was scratching through the panties." But then I
The person on Twitter you talking about, her the last letter of her Twitter name start is a U.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know who you talking
She
about.
said, "I know that kitty cat was scratching through the panties." I was fucking rolling. But then I saw a lot of guys saying, "Ooh, I bet that she tastes gross after that." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh, oh." Yeah. So does that, like, so look, we say all this to say, look forward to the end of our podcast when we talk about disaster dates, because that was too fucking much. If somebody took me out and they came up short on the bill, that would be our first and last date.
absolutely,
First and last. So niggas, don't do
absolutely.
it.
So if y'all have any disaster dates, again, please send us the story. Same difference podcasters. You can let us know if you want us to say who you are, read your name, your handle, or whatever the case may be. Same difference podcasters at Gmail, and we'll add it to the end of the show.
I've got a really great name for the title of this episode too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, friend, that's all a girl got for today. Again, y'all, the That Man series is gonna be on my YouTube. It was always joy. The shorter version, the meat and potatoes, will be on my TikTok. It was always joy. I like, again, me and Instagram don't even have a love hate relationship anymore. I just hate it. So you know where to find me. Yeah, you know where to find me.
All right. My
All
mahogany
right,
my
friend.
mahogany crayon isn't crayoning these days because the sun don't be shining, but that's okay.
Well, I'm sure you can get into some museums and get some good pictures and stuff for the
I
page.
actually need to update my page now that we're talking about it. But
Hmm.
until next time, you guys.
Okay, y'all. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.